I'm trying to figure out if you know who is liable for the federal income tax.
Each person is liable for the tax that they owe, and that depends on their gross income.
Okay, well, where does it say that? What part of the code says that? That's what I don't understand.
I couldn't quote that to you because I don't have that right in front of me.
Yeah. So you're an advocate. You speak on behalf of the taxpayer.
Yes, my office, I work in the Taxpayer Advocate Service, and
Right.
if taxpayers meet a certain criteria, then we can oftentimes help them resolve issues with the Internal Revenue Service.
Yeah. Shouldn't anybody demanding payment or anything know the law so that way when somebody wants to know where does the law say that I have to pay the federal income tax? Because from what I'm understanding is that the law is only meant for corporations or foreigners doing business within the states, to my understanding.
Well, I really can't argue semantics like this with you. If you want to ask about a real tax question, that I could probably help you with.
Oh, I'm not asking real tax questions?
No, you really haven't.
Oh. So if I say what part of Title 26 would hold me accountable to pay the federal income tax, that's not a good question? That's not a real tax question?
I wouldn't give. I don't know.
You're not qualified. In other words, you're not qualified to answer that one.
No, I'm not.
Oh. Who is? Is there anybody qualified to answer that specific question? Because the way I'm seeing it is it's a code, and you and I both know that codes are meant for secrecy, and the Internal Revenue Code is a secret code that only the people who wrote it know what it says. And unless you're really smart, like I figured that I may be a little bit wiser than most people in understanding Title 26, in that only corporations or foreigners doing business within the states are liable. So, it's hard to find somebody who's qualified to decipher the code. It seems as though everybody is just assuming that they have to pay federal income tax, and so you got people hired to help them file forms, and certain things, but nobody knows the law. I mean, everybody wants to help everybody pay taxes, but nobody knows the law. I find that kind of interesting, and then when you call people, they say, well, don't pay your federal income tax and see what happens. What, they're going to come after me with a club, or they're going to threaten me? I mean, shouldn't you come at me with a law? I mean, where does it say in the law that we have to pay federal income tax? That's the biggest question here.
I don't have the law. I think it's mentioned in the Constitution, but I don't have a copy of that in front of me, so
Well, I think, I think our forefathers, we never had federal income tax until after 1913, I believe, somewhere around there. It was when America began borrowing money from the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve Act that Americans began being taxed on their labors. I mean, according to my knowledge and understanding, anybody that has to pay taxes on their labors is not owned by themselves, because if you own yourself, nobody can tax you on your increase. I mean, that's slavery, isn't it? If you're working and you have to give part of your labors to someone, isn't that considered slavery? I don't think our forefathers fought and died for that kind of a system, do you?
Well, you know, I don't mean to cut you off, but I do have some other things that I do need to finish today.
All right, well, could you direct me to somebody that might know the law? Is there anybody within your vicinity, within your reach, that may know something about the law?
Not right. Well, I think, need to talk to your congressperson. Because
Yeah?
they make the laws, so
Oh,
that would
okay.
be a good place to start.
Yeah, maybe what do I do? Do I say, yeah, so what part of the Title 26 says that I have to pay federal income tax? You think they're going to tell me, or do you think they're going to direct me to somebody else like you just did? And then I'll just run around in circles, not getting any answers from anyone. Where does the buck stop? I mean, I need answers. I don't need to be running around all the time. I'm hoping to find somebody with some answers.
Well, call your congressperson.
Okay.
And, okay.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello, sweetheart.
Hi, honey bunny. How are you?
Good. I was just